All right, ladies and gentlemen, this will be my second take of this video because my phone just died and I gotta redo the whole thing. Hell yeah. This is a video about the engine and trans that I bought. So I don't know if you can see this over here. It's sitting over there. It is a 5.4 out of a 2007 GT500. Yeah, fuck it. I'll show you guys the engine. So here's the engine and trans. Like I said, it's out of a 2007. It's a 5.4 with a supercharger, dual overhead cam, big engine, blower, and then a TR6060 transmission. One of the best factory transmissions that you can get. Really great wombo combo. All right, I'm going to share with you guys some details about the engine and why I chose this engine and trans combo. So, like I said, it's a 5.4 liter V8 dual overhead cam supercharged car with a 6-speed TR6060 trans from Tremec, all from the factory. Specs about the engine. All right, I had to fucking get some notes, so I had all my mental notes here on a paper so I wouldn't forget. All right, specs about the engine and some reasons why I chose it. It has 5.4 liters of displacement. That's more displacement than a Coyote or a Voodoo or the Terminator. Those are kind of the platforms I was looking at swapping over into the car. There's no replacement for displacement. You hear that? It's the fucking truth. Deal with it, all right? Look, I've had a 4.6 3-valve. You know, you can have that 4.6 in your hand, put all the fucking bolt-ons and all the superchargers and shit you want on it, nitrous, meth, whatever. I'm here to tell you, as an owner of a 4.6, there is no replacement for displacement. Even Coyote guys and Voodoo guys. Mainly Voodoo guys, it kind of hits a little harder because you have a flat plane crank or whatever. But during my research of platforms that I wanted to swap into my car, I was looking at a bunch of builds, and basically I want a TVS supercharger. Personal reason, I just like the way they sound. Instant torque, fucking feels so good. No replacement for displacement. You're gonna make more torque. You're gonna have a closer torque to horsepower number. When you have that closer car, it feels amazing. When you get a car that's, well, I'm not speaking from personal experience because I ain't been with all these people that have a bunch of cars. Where I live, everybody has a fucking Chevy truck or an old Camaro that makes like fucking, they say it's 400 horsepower, fucking big block, or whatever the fuck. I don't fucking care. Those are old heads. I'm tired of being around fucking people and their Chevy bullshit, and that's why I went with Ford, and before I knew the Mustang was so popular. All these fucking Chevy dudes and their no replacement for displacement, they are right about that. That is truth. So when I looked at platforms and I looked at the horsepower numbers, when you have a TVS, you get lots of torque, but it starts to kind of show with the displacement, its capability, or lack thereof. So 5.2, horrible. 800 horsepower, 550 torque, horrible. Also, flat crank shit, nah, I'm not trying to deal with those problems. Coyote, they're good, reliable, but I'm just tired. I'm just tired of looking at 5.0 swaps. Like, congrats, bro, you have a Coyote. Crazy. You can go buy a fucking blown out by fucking 300 bajillion thousand miles out of a fucking truck, hauling fucking shit all day, swap the Mustang cams, and then fucking call it a day. Like, woo, 5.0 swap. Whoa, bro, you got that shit for $1,500. Congrats. I'm also kind of slightly calling out Jonathan Harder, but hey, man, you're cool. I'm just tired of seeing Coyote swaps. Not my deal, all right? That's just not for me. Yeah, I'm not trying to be a 5.0 bro. I'm good. They're great engines, though. Don't get me wrong. They're great engines. I'm not trying to be another fucking 5.0 swap guy. Call me whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. It sucks to suck. All right. So, more displacement makes more torque. And this engine in particular is really good for TVS applications because of factory equipment. It just It has everything I need. Another thing about the engine, it uses the head castings from the Ford GT. They are the best cylinder heads that Ford has ever made. You're like, man, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. All right? Ford GT heads, no contest. All right? They're great. You get that right off the rip, cool. Fucking banging. Let's see here. Iron block. It has an iron block. Doesn't have aluminum like pretty much all the other engines, except for all the old Ford engines. Ford did that because it was cheap. All right? You gain an extra 100 pounds. For the, I was looking at 2011 GT500 5.4s and the 07 one that I found. And unless you want to pay $3,000 to have 100 pounds less, you go right ahead, all right? I'm not afraid to admit, I'm not fucking rich. I'm kind of broke. I'm 22. I have my own house. I pay a mortgage. I don't pay rent. I pay a mortgage. And I have enough money to fucking buy a fucking big-ass engine and trans and swap it into my fucking sports car / muscle car that's already paid off or whatever. So, suck to suck. Yeah, so I don't give a shit to pay an extra $3,000 for 100 pounds less on the nose end. I mean, whoa, if you want to do competition shit, yeah, go right the fuck ahead. I don't care, but you probably have deeper pockets than I do. I'm not out here to fucking prove anything to everybody. I just want more horsepower because my 3-valve is fucking, when you first get a car, a sports car with a V8, you get that fucking adrenaline rush. It feels so good, fucking banging gears. But I just don't get that out of my 3-valve anymore. I've had it for like 4 years. And I just fucking, from a dig, it's just like, it's alright. It's alright. I don't know. Just, it ain't got the shit for me anymore. Stock from the factory comes supercharged. It comes with an Eaton M122 1.9 liter supercharger TVS. I believe it's a TVS or a fucking Roostoss or whatever the fuck. I'm not an expert. All right. Decent blower. It's all right. It's all right. It's not that great. It's all right for about 550. You know, you want to hit 600, you got to port it. And yeah, I'm not going to fucking, it's all right. All right. It's all right. Not much else to say about it. Engine also comes with a forged rotating assembly. No matter what you say on the internet, you go find someone. I don't have a user's manual, but I've been reading on a shit ass ton of forums. Go find someone with an 07 to 09 user manual. Look in that bitch, and it will tell you it has a forged rotating assembly. Pistons, con rods, and crankshaft. They're forged. All right. It might not be the best forged shit. Like, it's not fucking manly, but it's still forged, all right? It's not going to be 1,000 horsepower stock engine. That doesn't exist. For all you fucking Supra 2JZ boys, no. Supra makes fucking 300 horsepower from the factory, all right? And it don't make 1,000 horsepower stock engine. You got to build that bitch. And then if you want to say it's such a great engine, you can build anything for 1,000 horsepower. You can build a fucking 4-cylinder for 1,000 horsepower, all right? Go look at Boosted Boys. They made a fucking minivan, all-wheel drive, and 1,000 horsepower. You have enough money, they have parts. You can make anything 1,000 horsepower. So, whatever the fuck. And also the cost of building a V8, like building a 4.6, building a Coyote, and building a 5.4 short block, all costs roughly about the same, within like $1,500. Like the rotating assembly by itself, they're usually like, what, like 3 to 4.5K or something like that, roughly, from MMR. Yeah, it's fucking, it all costs about the same. Really, the hard part is finding a fucking good shop that will build that engine for you, that you can trust. Usually, around here where I live, fuck no, I don't trust no motherfucker around here for that. Fuck no. So that's why I didn't want to fucking build the motor on my 3-valve. Also, the heads are super inefficient. I'm not trying to, when you have inefficient heads, and major inefficiencies on your engine, you're going to have to shove more boost, more fuel, more timing, and everything to make the same amount of power. So it makes it way less reliable. I don't want to do that, all right? I'm not trying to be a fucking dude that's, I got a super fast fucking 3-valve. Woo, look at me. I'm not dogging on you, JD or Sonny, some of the guys I talked to on Instagram. Not dogging on you guys, all right? I like your cars. I like seeing shit built. Me, personally, I just don't want to do that. If you want to do that, that's fucking cool. Your guys' cars are fucking cool. They're sick as fuck. They're fast as shit, too. Well, JD's is about to be. It's not quite running yet, but they're cool as fuck. But personally, for me, that's not the route I wanted to go. And since it has a forged rotating assembly, the rods are the weak point. They are forged. Don't listen to what anybody else says. From all the fucking shit I've read, and the fact that I've talked to people that have owned multiple GT500s, and they build motors with them, they all say it's all forged. It might not be the best shit. The rods are I forgot what the words are. It's like powdered, forged steel, powdered, cracked rods, some shit like that. They're I-beam rods, they're forged, but they're like powder forged, or however the fuck you make it. They're not that great, but they're still forged. So they're a lot better than your fucking shitty cast 4.6 rods that banks out at 450 wheel torque. So that's just facts, all right? I'm not going to argue with you. So yeah, it comes with forged rotating assembly, a good stock bottom end, a really good stock bottom end. It can handle my power goals. Eventually, I'll just let you guys know, eventually I want to be at about 700, 725 wheel horsepower. That's where I want to be at. From all the forums I've read, that seems to be about the end of your engine being reliable. You can push 800 if you really want to. If you have if you already have a forged engine, you can probably push like 850, like if you really want. That's usually the 5.4 and the 5.8 explode about 850. I will say the 5.8 probably can go slightly further, but not much. The rods are a little bit better on the 5.8, but that's just because you have more RPM. But usually RPM is what kills these engines. You don't want to be revving them to 7K, all right? That's not, well, this engine. You don't want to be revving it to 7K. It ain't built for that. 6,500 max, like max. 6,300 is where it's comfortable. Oh, the compression. Oh, yeah, I told you about 5.8 has more compression. I don't remember. It's like 10 something to 1 compression. 5.4 has 8.4 to 1 compression. Usually lower compression engines, from all the experience that I've had and all the engines I've seen, but usually lower compression engines last longer. Like I said, when you start throwing way more power at it, making like 700, that's different. But I have seen these 5.4s many times easily be sitting at like 130, 140,000 miles making 700 horsepower like it's fucking nothing. And they're racing that bitch. They're fucking dogging that shit. So that's another reason why I like this engine, because it's reliable and it can make power and it has a bunch of supporting shit already from the factory. Another thing, another huge reason why I went over a Coyote. I was also looking at a Roadrunner too. Roadrunners are built. It's like basically a Gen 2 short block with Gen 1 heads in different cams. That's basically what a Roadrunner is. Because I want to go with a TVS blower, because that's my personal opinion. That's what I like, my preference. Coyote engines, 4.6 engines, 6 ribs for the belt. You're going to get fucking pulley slip all day long. One of my buddies, Bruce, he had a Pro-charged 2nd gen Coyote. Belt slip. He was only making like 660 or 650 or something. Belt slip. What the fuck? What the fuck? I don't want to deal with belt slip. The fuck you gonna do? Just throw another fucking tensioner on there, or bigger idler pulleys, or a bigger tensioner that's already on there? You're still gonna get fucking belt slip. Unless you start doing insane fucking overhauls on fucking all your entire fucking pulley system and all your belts and getting super specialized shit. Fuck that. I don't want those problems. Fuck that. You want to go with an 8 rib to 10 rib conversion for a Coyote? That's like $2 to $3 grand. That's just, I'm not gonna fucking, that's ridiculous. I don't want to deal with that. So this engine comes with a 10 rib belt and a 6 rib. 6 rib to run some of the accessories, 10 rib for the supercharger and probably the water pump or something. I don't fucking know. It's like one other thing. I think it's AC or something. Yeah. So you get a 10 rib belt system from the factory. You ain't gonna have no problems with belt slips. You start having problems with belt slips, you're fucking up there in horsepower. And then you just throw like a grip tech pulley and then fucking special, like a slightly special belt, and then bam, you're fucking good to go. You're fucking set. All right. So the engine from the factory makes 500 crank horsepower, which equals to about roughly 430 wheel, somewhere around there. Decent horsepower from stock. You can make a shit ton of power with literally, you put a cold air intake, a throttle body, a pulley, and long tubes, you're at 550 wheel. Easy. And then there's not much you can really do. You can cam the cars, but you get to 4-valve shit and the timing shit, and it gets kind of complex. I did the cams on, I don't have the video on it. My Instagram got deleted, my old one. I had all the videos on there. Let's see. Yeah, all that shit got deleted. I did the cam swap on my car, on my 3-valve. Pretty easy. You go into that dual overhead cam shit, you actually got to know some shit. You can't just fucking drop them bitches in and fucking line up your phasers and your chains with the links with the fucking crank sprocket and call it a day. And then have your tuner fucking fix the rest. Sorry, tuner. Sorry, Lido. But yeah, it's 3 valves, easy, schmeezy. 4 valves, I ain't fucking with that. I will have somebody professional if I decide to cam it. I will say, I do like that big chop from a V8. That shit's fucking... that shit's good. But supercharger wine's fucking is better in my opinion. Yeah. Oh, some more reasons why I decided to go with this platform. With this engine swap specifically. Well, with the Coyote and the Roadrunner and the 5.2, these kind of sort of, well, this applies. It's a mod motor. All the engine mounts are the same. Bell housings are the same. For the most part. I don't really, unless you get into the real old shit, I don't bother with that. There's a lot of similarities. There's a lot of shit that just fits up and it's like direct swap. So I don't really, there's no point in trying to make this any more complex for myself than it needs to be, because I'm going to be doing it in here, in my tiny little fucking 1-car garage. It's like an 8-foot or 8.5-foot door back there, and then a door that you can walk through, like a normal size fucking, whatever the fuck, a normal size door that's in your house. And it's that right next to my door. Small garage. I'm gonna be doing this whole thing in here by myself. I am gonna have somebody come help me, but he actually wants to learn a lot. He doesn't know a lot about cars, so I'm gonna help teach him a bit. So yeah, it's a mod motor. A lot of shit just fits up. It's great. It makes manufacturing better, assembly better, just more efficient for the company. Another reason, this engine and trans was made for my chassis. It came from the factory in my chassis. Everything just fucking bolts right up. No problems. Fucking easy mode. Easy swap. Like I said, I'm trying to make this as easy as possible for me. Oh, another huge fucking reason why I went with like an 07 to 09 5.4. So these cars, when they came out in 2007 through 2009, it was the first GT500 in like fucking 40 years or some crazy shit. So, a lot of fucking old dudes. They made a lot of them, so they're not like super rare. They're uncommon, but not nearly as common as a Coyote. But a lot of old dudes went out and bought the cars, and they're like, damn, brand new GT500. It's been forever since they made these. It's gonna be a collector's car. They are still collector's cars, but only if they're like fucking sub 10K miles. So a bunch of old people bought these cars and then just hucked them in their fucking garage and drove them to fucking car meets once a month. They have fucking low miles. I would say 90%, 80% of them have really low mileage. The engine and trans I bought has 42,000 miles on it, and it's an 07. That's fucking, for me, my car when I bought it had 95,000. It's a 2008. I paid a little extra for it though. So it wasn't totally clapped out and fucked. So yeah, 42,000 miles. That means this thing basically has another 100K to go. So we're fucking, it would take me forever. Honestly, down the road, I'll probably have it built before I even fucking hit 100K. Maybe I might hit 100. Maybe at about 100,000 miles, I'll say, fuck it. I will have had shit figured out. I'll have my career fucking figured out. And I'll fucking slap a fucking built short block into this bitch. and push like 800-900. So I might get tired of that 700. I don't know. 700 is really good for the street. So I don't know. Maybe I might throw an extra 1,500 horsepower. I didn't throw a Bill Shore block. We'll see. Yeah, so they come with low miles because all the people that bought them when they came out fucking hucked them in their fucking garage and let them sit. So, and then they drove them around enough so that when you get it, or when I'm getting it, it's not fucking all the seals are rotted out of it. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I haven't taken a real close look at this. I'm going to dig into it this weekend with the guy that's going to help me. I still have a bunch of parts coming in. And yeah, low miles. So that means they've been really well taken care of. They haven't been fucking molested by a bunch of teenagers. And they've been just really well taken care of. They've been sitting in a fucking garage for years. Good condition. Another reason why I bought this platform, it comes with a TR6060 trans. Really good transmission, like I said before. Great transmission. Basically, the only thing better than this is a T56 Magnum. It's basically on par with a T56. I think they just have like different gearing or something like that. But yeah, great transmission, pretty damn reliable. Oh, another reason why they're great. They're not super expensive. They're not nearly as rare as the 5.8s. And since they're not so rare, they're cheap. And they're well taken care of because, as I said before, old dudes buy them and huck them in garages. So, you get they're cheap, they're reliable, they're not super rare, so you can still find shit if shit blows up. And, they're in good condition. They ain't fucked. So, you can't fucking ask for more. And it comes supercharged. It comes fucking supercharged. You know how much a kit for that for a 3-valve or a fucking Coyote is? It's another $6K. $7K. Because inflation fucking blows. Fuck you, Uncle Sam. Motherfucker. Alright. Well, that's the end of my notes. So, basically, recap. Great engine. Comes supercharged. Ford rotating assembly. Can support my power goals. Comes with a good trans. Low miles. I can't ask for more. It checks every single fucking box that I needed. So that's why I chose it. So, thank you for watching me ramble about how much I like my engine that I just spent a fuck ton of money on. Oh, speaking of, I haven't told you about the price that I paid for it. So for this engine and trans, I paid for a 42,000 mile 5.4 out of a GT500 with the transmission. I paid $9K for it. $9,000. I figured if you want to go into what it would have cost to get a Coyote, and if I were to get a Coyote, I either would have got a Roadrunner. That was about $9K. Plus, get rid of the MT82. That's like $1,500. Get a TR6060. That's $2,000. So another $500 it's going to cost you. So you're at $9,500. Then you got to get a blower kit. And then you got to fucking deal with the 6-rib shit. Or you can fucking get a new pulley kit. That's another fucking $3K. Plus a supercharger kit. That's another $5K at least. Roughly average if you go used or new. It gets fucking expensive. And it gets complicated. So, I'll pass on that. Not to mention if you just get a Gen 1, you got to build the bottom end. Because they only handle like 600. So yeah. That's basically it. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed and you want to see more about the swap and when I make it happen and when we go to work on it, subscribe and follow for more. See you guys later. Peace.